Here we're asked to make a rough drawing of an array and shade it to illustrate this equation. So this is the same thing, it's just now using the numbers as 8, 10, and 5 for our array instead of any numbers, or instead of the numbers that we had here, which were the 3, 2, and 4. So what you can do, if it says to make a drawing, then you actually should probably use a grid and like actually show all your, your individual squares as you do this. However, if it says a rough drawing, you don't need to actually do a grid, right? So a rough drawing just means we're just going to draw a box and kind of subdivide it. So pick any colors you want, just to be different. I'm going to pick about maybe purple. I'll use red in the last one. Let's see. I'll use yellow. Why not? All right. So for my 8 by 10, I know that that would be a rectangle that has 8 rows and 10 squares in each row. But I don't actually need to individually draw those 8 squares and 10 squares. I can just draw a box and say this is going to be an 8 by 10 box. You do want to make it like, it doesn't need to be perfectly to scale, but you do want the larger number to be the longer side, right? So like I would not want to make this side shorter than the 8 because 10 is a bigger number, right? So I do want to make, however big you made 8, make 10 longer, right? And then I'll do a yellow one. Hopefully this shows up well. So then the yellow one would be an 8 by 5. So I'm going to just put it right up next to my purple one. And so that's going to be, you can imagine 8 rows, but I don't need to draw them. And then 5 squares in each row. So might make that a little longer. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just thinking like 5's half of 10, so it should be about half that size. And so then these are your 2 separate rectangles, right? So I could say, okay, I could do this a couple different ways. One thing I could do is I could find the area of the purple one, right? And so that would be 80. And then I could find the area of the yellow one, and that would be 40, and then add them together, right? So doing it that way would be like doing this right side of my equation, right? 80 plus 40 and get 120. Or if I wanted to, I could just put this together and make it one big rectangle and say, oh, 10 plus 5, if I put that together, gives me 15, and then 8 times 15, I'm still going to get the same thing, right? I'm still going to get 120, either way that you think about doing that. So again, if it says make a drawing, use the grid, but if it just says make a rough drawing, this is good enough.